What's going on, YouTube? I hope you guys are doing well. Right behind me is my dream car, the Shelby GT350. And guys, this thing is an absolute beast. But unfortunately, I will not be purchasing this car after having a 24-hour test drive. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys about my experience with this car and the reason why I am not going forward with this purchase. I'm going to give you guys just a quick walk around of the car. Show you guys the interior as well. Interior is in great shape. I do prefer the regular seats over the Recaros. That's just my opinion, but if GT350 comes up, with a good price, I don't mind taking the Recaros. So I saw this car for $45,998 and decided to go ahead and reserve this car for 24 hours and really just see if I, see myself driving this car and really owning it. Now, if you are, somebody who is a subscriber, you know that I've been talking about getting a GT350 for a very long time. And right now I'm in the market for a GT350, planning to get one hopefully by the end of this year. But, this is the first Shelby GT350 that I've actually looked at and experienced driving, and it wasn't really a great one. So, going through the reserve process of, being able to rent the car out for 24 hours from the dealership went super amazing. Customer service was really great. But one of the things that I first noticed when driving the car is that the clutch pedal sticks. So it makes it really hard to get to the bite point, and it just makes, driving the car, not as fun as I thought it would be. So that is just basically one of the biggest things, when driving this car, is that the clutch pedal kind of ruined the experience. I'd say I haven't had the full Shelby experience driving the car because, everything wasn't functioning properly. But the reason for that probably is because of the miles of the car. Now, the car has 64,848 miles. Let me just show you guys that real quick. So it has a lot of miles on the car, and obviously, as you guys know, with these Shelby GT350s, a lot of people don't buy the higher mileage ones. Now, there's a lot of reasons for that, but a lot of it is due to the wear and tear of, the clutch, all the other parts of the car, especially the engine. And the reason why I ended up just pursuing this car is because of the warranty that came with the car. So the warranty lasts all the way up into 125,000 miles, and that is ultimately the reason why I considered this car. Now, the warranty comes with anything that has to do with the engine, the transmission, any major repairs. All I have to do is pay a $50 deductible to get this fixed. Now, that sounds great. And honestly, that's what I was thinking, like, this is a good purchase. But when it comes to buying my dream car, having 65,000 miles on the odometer is not really ideal. And I just kind of thought about it, from a long-term perspective. Like, what if the engine lasts all the way to 125,000 miles and then eventually breaks? Then I'm not going to really have the car for a very long time. So that was just some of my thoughts about the car, is that, obviously it's a higher mileage car. How long is the car going to last? Even, when I have the 4-year warranty, because the warranty is for 4 years, but like, what's going to happen after the 4 years? Since it's already a higher mileage Shelby GT350. Now, this contributed to the majority of the reason why I'm not getting the car, is just that it's a higher mileage Shelby, and I would definitely need to get a Shelby that's at least 30,000 miles. 30 to 40,000 miles, I'll be in a much better spot. But, like I said, driving the car for the first time, it wasn't the best experience. I, went back to the dealership and even told them, like, hey, there's something wrong with the clutch. The clutch is sticking. And, I eventually was able to get the car off, and was driving it. But even right now, when I put the car in first gear, it takes a very long time for the clutch to actually come up. So those are just some of the things. It's just like, the car is really high mileage. The wear and tear parts, like the clutch, already is like starting to wear out, so I will have to replace that. The doors are squeaking, you know, all that stuff like that. And, you know, it's also had 6 different owners as well. So, you know, for me, you know, when buying a Shelby GT350, I want it to be, you know, a car that has maybe 1 or 2 owners, and have like a full list of the service records, because that is very important. I want to make sure that this car was serviced properly, and with having 6 different owners, that makes, you know, this car at even higher risk of oil consumption, because, you know, we don't know how the owners took care of the car, the previous owners. So that is just the majority of the reasons why I decided not to go with this car. But let's talk about the experience driving the car. Besides, you know, the clutch, you know, sticking, you know, after, you know, first gear, you know, shifting to the other gears was perfectly fine. And I had fun, you know, getting down to the 8250 red line. I haven't had the chance to do it, but I've gotten close. Yeah, so going through the gears was great. You know, the car is very fast, and, you know, just having the voodoo sounds, and also just the voodoo sounds, guys, are just amazing. I've had just a really good experience with the car, but just like, this car is not for me. I know that, you know, I know that some other people would, you know, decide on getting this car with, you know, the given circumstances, the warranty, etc. But for me, I want to get a Shelby. I want to get a GT350 that is in much better shape. Oh yeah, I didn't show you guys as well, but like, the car has like dings and other stuff onto it. But one of the things right here, like I said, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is a ding. I don't know if you guys can hear, but the door. So this is just giving off red flags. Like, if I was thinking about the ideal Shelby GT350 that I buy, it has to be in mint condition. And I would say that this is not in mint condition. There's a lot of scratches, a lot of swirl marks. You know, I don't know if you guys can see that. There's also like a lot of scratches here. Another scratch here. Another scratch right here. I don't know what that is. Another scratch over there. So it's just like, there is a lot of work that needs to be done on the exterior. I didn't even see this as well, but even have chips over here on the wheel from the previous owners. So that is, oh, another ding right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me try to show you guys. But another ding over here too. Oh. So there's just like a lot of things with this car. Like, I don't know really how the other owners took care of the cars. Like, there are 2 owners who had the majority of the miles, but there was, you know, 4 other random owners within the span of like 5 or 6 or 7,000 miles. So, like I said, you know, this car is not the one for me, but the driving experience has been great. Besides, you know, the sticking of the pedal, just hearing that voodoo engine was, you know, something that I've been wanting to hear, you know, and experience myself in person for the first time. But yeah, like I said, like, just driving the car, like, with a Tremec transmission, you know, it's my first time ever, you know, shifting a Tremec transmission, and it is just very notchy and short, and something I wish I had in my car. Like, from going from first to second is quick, and all the other gears as well is very quick as well. And I really love the Tremec transmission. I don't think I even needed a short shifter. Like, it was just that great of an experience having, you know, to drive this car with the Tremec transmission. So I see why a lot of people go with Mach 1s, you know, because the car is a 5-volt engine that's more reliable, but has the Tremec transmission. But yeah, like I said, like, the experience of this car was pretty good. Besides the sticking of the clutch, I would probably give it, out of 10, maybe like a 7 out of 10. You know, it could have been a 9 or a 10 if the sticking of the clutch was better. And yeah, I mean, honestly, like, you know, when driving this car, I let it warm up for about 5-10 minutes, and I wouldn't go above, you know, 2,500 RPMs while driving until the car reached, you know, right around 215 cylinder head temperature. And also the oil temperature had to be above like 210 for me, you know, in order to, like, you know, start, you know, going a little bit aggressive on the car. But Like I said, I will be getting a Shelby GT350 sometime by the end of this year. I am definitely looking for a red or a blue one. I don't even mind the black. The black looks crazy. Like, just imagine having like a black GT350, you know, with the windshield tinted, the gold wheels. Like, I would love to have something like that. So, yeah, honestly, I think another color I would decide to get is the Nardo Gray as well. But yeah, overall, like, guys, this has been a really great experience. Um, you know, it's been both good and bad, but I'm very happy that I got the experience to drive this car. You know, like I said, there's a lot of cons that come with this car. As y'all can see, the car has 65,000 miles. The sticking of the pedal, all the different dings and dents in the car's exterior, you know, and even on the wheels and all that stuff like that. So that is just the main reason why I'm not getting this car, is because there is a lot more cons and pros. And when I get my 350, it has to be in tip-top shape. That being said, if you're new to the channel and you like Mustang GTs, you know, Mustang GT350s, and before you guys tune out, comment down below what your dream car is. Peace.